Bruce Lee said there is a person who knows 10,000 kicks, 10,000 kicks, and he's practiced it one time, right? But he knows 10,000 different kicks. But Bruce Lee said that's not the person he's afraid of. The person he's afraid of is the person who knows one kick and has practiced it 10,000 times. Walk with me. Listen, we are continuing this master class on mastery. And listen, this is day 3 of this master class. And hold on. And we're here live. And look, we were supposed to be on Facebook, but it's looking like it's going to be some issues with the Facebook. So guess what? I'm going to remove that now, edit it. Hey, we live. It happens. Hey, it happens. We live. Hold on. Got one more to do because it's getting up on my screen. There we go. We almost there. All right. So let's go. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. All right. Look, we live, man. But listen, that's just the devil trying to distract, but it's not gonna happen. Say, listen, it's not gonna happen. So I'm on YouTube. I'm not live on Facebook, but I am on YouTube. And thank you. And y'all can hear me. I mean, y'all can hear me on YouTube. So thank you for being here. Facebook just gonna have to miss out on this time. But that's why they should have been here on the YouTube channel, because this is the main channel. Listen, let me put that quote up that I mentioned earlier. This is a quote by Bruce Lee. It says, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but I fear the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. See, his focus on this quote was that, person can take one thing and through mastery can be effective, can be dangerous, can be beneficial versus a person who knows a lot but haven't mastered that thing. And see, tonight we're doing mastery. We're on day 3 of this mastery session, this master class to mastery. And listen, like I said, this is a live session. This is not a silent live stream. This is not a looped video. This is a live session. And I understand it's Saturday night. Listen, we got Tanika Morant in the building. That's my wife right there. And listen, but I just thank for everybody who's tuning in. I know it's Saturday and it's Saturday evening, but I thank you for those who are chose to tune in. Listen, who am I? I'm Billy Miller, the motivational minister, and they call me the motivational minister because I help people to improve their lives by teaching them life skills from the Bible. And listen, it's not going to take that long to teach this message. This is day 3 of this 3-day session, so it's going to be good. Listen, this is going to be one of the best messages that you ever heard. Can you believe God for that? This is going to be one of the best messages that you've ever heard. Let me see who else is in the building here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Listen, this is going to be one of the best messages you ever heard. We're on day 3. If you haven't seen the other 2 days, that's okay. You can always go back and watch the replay. This is the master class to mastery. And listen, I know some people are driving. A lot of people getting off of work. Maybe you're traveling, coming from an event. People are doing what they can to be here. And listen, I thank God for you. I'm grateful for you because you chose to be here. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here. Some people are cooking for their families. And listen, but you still chose to tune in. Listen, I'm grateful. I don't want to take that lightly. I'm grateful because you could have chose not to even be here. You could have chose that, hey, I got some stuff to take care of, but you chose to tune in anyway. Listen, I'm grateful for you. Some people are even listening from the shower. I know you probably like, from the shower. Yes, it's a thing. I'm one of the people who do it. I'm one of the people who likes to listen to motivation while I'm in the shower. So listen, you could have chose not to even have me playing right now and listening to me. But listen, you're doing what you can to get it. Listen, some is better than none. So I thank God that you're here and you chose to be here. So I'm grateful. I want to be careful about saying, I want to make sure you know that I'm grateful for you showing up, however you showing up, because some is better than none. However, there is one person, maybe several of you, who've been knowing about this event, and you are sitting here and I have your undivided attention. I mean, you sitting here with your notebook and your pen, with your neck stuck out, ready to receive something from God. Somebody's right now that just gets just neck just stretched out. And that person is the one who, I promise you, they're gonna be like, this is the best message they ever heard. Why? Because their expectation is on a high level. They're one of them Hebrews chapter 4, verse 2 people. What is that? It's everybody heard the message, everybody heard the same message, but the one who benefited the most is the one who heard it with faith, the one who heard it with expectation, the one who heard it with all readiness. Whew. That's the one who go come back with the testimony. Listen, everybody's gonna benefit. I believe everybody's gonna benefit. Like I said, whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching the replay, whether you're multitasking, or whether you have your undivided attention. Listen, I thank God that you're here. And this is gonna be one of the most powerful messages. Are you ready? Can you do me a favor and turn your expectation up on high, on the highest level? Can you turn your expectation up on its highest level, expecting to hear something from God? Listen, I know you're ready because you watching. I know you're ready. But listen, can you do me a favor and help the other people that's on here get ready? Can you just write in the comment section, you better get this word? Just comment that in the comment section. Look, I know you're ready, right? But help participate by letting everybody else who's watching the replay or watching the live comment in the comment section. You better get this word. Because listen, I know I'm ready to deliver. Are you ready to receive? I have a powerful word for you. This is the last night. This is the last day of this master class, the mastery, and I'm excited. I want you to be excited too. Oh man, you better get this word. Listen, like I said, we're live. We're live. Let me show you some people who are in here. Thank you for Tanika for being here. I got Shar is in here. Thank you for tuning in. Vita is in the building. Oh, Shar, this your first time? Well, thank you. Listen, I thank you for being here. I don't take it lightly. I hope you enjoy this message. Stay as long as you can. If you can't, if you got to go, most definitely come back and watch the replay. Hit the subscribe button if you want. But I have some powerful words on here. I think it's going to change your life. Let's see, Vita's in here. Thank you for Vita for tuning in. I don't know what that is right there, but all right. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. Listen, let's get into it. We've been talking about mastery. Mastery. Listen, mastery consists of three things: knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. These three things consist of mastery. And in day one, we talked about uh, uh, knowledge. But you know what? Before I even get into that, years ago when I used to read scriptures, especially like in Proverbs, you would see where it says knowledge, wisdom, and understanding interchangeably in the scriptures. And I used to just assume they meant the same thing. But after careful study of the book of Proverbs, careful study of the word, I realized that they're similar, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They're similar, they're related, they cousins. You understand what I'm saying? They kinfolk, but they each have a distinct difference. Let me give you an example. Look at this scripture right here. This Proverbs chapter 3, verse 13. It says, blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who obtains understanding. See how the scripture uses it interchangeably. I used to just think it was the same thing. Look at this one right here. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5. Take a screenshot of that. It says, get wisdom and get understanding. Don't forget my words or turn away from them. Let me show you one more. It says, if you want to become wise, you must begin by respecting the Lord. To know the Holy One is to gain understanding. And we talked about in day one. So day one, we talked about knowledge. Knowledge means to gain information. To gain information. You know, and we talked about in day one, have you before you can even gain information, before you can even get knowledge, you first got to be teachable. You first have to be teachable. If you're unteachable, you're going to block your blessings. You're going to stop your harvest. You're going to prevent things from happening. You're not going to get results. Why? Because you're unteachable. I remember years ago when I was single, I met this lady, young, beautiful lady, and we began to converse, to get to know each other. And as we began to have conversations, she would always say, "Oh, I know." Right? "Oh, you ain't gotta tell me. I know. Oh no, I know." Right? And the more she kept saying, I know," the more I kept thinking, "Oh no, oh no." So that didn't work out. Years later, when I first met my wife, we had conversation and we talked for hours for a couple of days. And when we got through talking, she was talking with one of her girlfriends and she said, "Girl, it's true. They do exist. A black man with vision." Listen, my point is, how many opportunities have you missed because you were unteachable? So you're first going to have to be teachable, and you're going to have to get knowledge. You're going to have to gain information. We also talked on day one. Remember, I gave you an exclusive look. So if you're here, you're getting the exclusive because I haven't shared this with everybody. But I'm working on my next book, and I actually showed you something that I have in my next book. So check this out on the screen right here. For those of you who are multitasking, this is the time to look up. Take the screenshot of this. There's going to be more information, of course, in the book whenever that comes out. But I share this with you because there are pretty much like 8 major goals that you have, right? And then once you write down those goals, and remember, listen, goals, you need to write down your goals. Your goals aren't right until you write it. If your goals aren't important enough to write down, it's not important. And listen, like I said, I'm not going to go into the whole detail about the proper way to write down goals. I know it's cliche. I know you've heard that before, but many people do it wrong. But I'm going to show you in the newsletter that's going out Thursday, which is October the 9th, Thursday, October the 9th at 8:35 a.m. I'm sending out that newsletter breaking down the proper way to take goals. I got a video that's with it. So those of you who are part of my newsletter family, those of you who are on my email list, listen, just be on the lookout for that. If you're not on my list, if it's your first time hearing me, or you heard me, but you're not part of my email list, you can sign up today. The link is in the description of this video. It's the first link you'll see. Don't get distracted by seeing a bunch of links. You just go there and get what you need. It's the first link. And I often refer in this master class, if you haven't been here, to the description of the video because it's just a resource. It's a hub to different things that pertain to you that you may need. And so you're going to write down your goals, right? And then you're going to what? Gain information. You're going to find information that's going to help you to get to them. So see those lines that's going to those goals? The lines are the directions, the instructions, the pathway to get there. Success leaves clues. I know you've heard that before. Success leaves clues in the form of recipes. What are recipes? Different things that's are going to give you information on how to get to it or how to accomplish it. You follow what I'm saying? It could be an online course. It can be a class. It can be through mentorship. I love to use books. Books are one great ways of gaining information. This is where the knowledge part kicks in. You're going to gain information. If you'll just read a book, a lot of your answers can be answered just by reading a book. And that's why I refer to books as recipes. I refer to books as recipes. If you're going to buy, just say you're in a store and you buy a box with a cake, right? On the front of that box is a picture of the cake. It's a picture of the manifestation of what you want. On the back is the recipe for how to make it. You got it? And the ingredients. Likewise, a book is just like that. A book, the title is the promise. If you got a book that says, hey, how to lose belly fat in 21 days, that's the promise. And the book is the recipe. Are you following what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying, hit that like button, hit the heart button. Listen, books are recipes. I remember walking into a large bookstore with one of my friends one time, and my friend looked around and said, "Man, look at all of these books." I looked around and said, "Man, look at all of these recipes." Listen, books are recipes, and you're going to have to gain information. And so, like I said, you're going to find each one of these goals, right? You're going to find a book that's pertaining to those goals. So, for example, like I told you, that large bookstore had all of those books. Well, Billy, how do you know which book to get? For example, let's look at health goals right here. I'm pretty sure there are thousands of books pertaining to health. How are you going to know which one to get? How are you going to decipher? How are you going to filter through? Well, this is where wisdom comes in. What is wisdom? Wisdom is the ability to make right decisions, knowing how to discern between right and wrong. So that's where wisdom comes in. In day 2, we talked about wisdom. Most definitely check out that video if you haven't. And so you're going to need wisdom. You're going to have to find out ways to get wisdom. Listen, if you need help learning wisdom, I wrote a book called Whatever Devil I'm Still Here, which is known as the Wisdom Book. You can look at the description of this video and find out more about that if you're interested in that book. But listen, if you're interested in getting wisdom, you're going to need wisdom. Wisdom is going to say, hey, this is the book you need. Hey, this is the mentor you need. Hey, this is the class you need, right? And now we're talking about understanding. Now we're talking about understanding. And that's what this session is about. Understanding. What does understanding mean? Let me give you a definition to the word understanding. The word understanding means to grasp the nature, significance, or meaning of. To grasp the nature, significance, or meaning of, to contain or hold within a total scope. To hold or contain within a total scope, a total significance, or total amount. In other words, it's when you get a grip. It's when you can contain it, when you can do it, when you can repeat it at will. This is what understanding is. And so knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, that's how that takes place. Let me give you an example. Say you got a job. Say you got a new job, and you're going to travel. This is your first time going there. You don't know how to get there. So you need information. What's the goal? So this is like an analogy too. The goal is what? To get to the job, right? So now you need to know, how am I going to get there? So you're going to plug in the address into your GPS or your MapQuest or your app, right? And it's going to kick out the directions, and the direction is the recipe or the directions of how to get there. That's where the knowledge is. This is how you gain information. And then once you drive there, right, you're going to do it again the next day, right? And as you keep doing it, right, eventually you're going to be like, you're going to get a hold of it, and you're going to say, you know what? If I go to the MLK and hit the expressway, I'll get there faster. That's called wisdom. Are you seeing how this playing in here? What is wisdom? Wisdom is knowing what to do at the appropriate time. You say, hey, I know this way right here, but if I go down Clay Street and then turn up Market, I get there 5 minutes earlier. That's called wisdom. And then you're going to come back and you go do it again the next day and the next day. And this is what we call consistency. And after a while, guess what? You're not going to need the GPS no more. After a while, you're going to have this thing down. After a while, you're not going to need the landmarks anymore. You're going to be doing this at will. Listen, understanding is when you can repeat it at will. Understanding is when you can repeat it at will. And then as you keep doing it, eventually it's going to become a habit. And a habit is the sweet spot that you want to get to. Listen to me. When you get it to where it becomes a habit, where it's effortless, where it's thoughtless, where you do it so much that if you don't do it, you feel awkward not doing it. This is the spot you want to be in, because habits lead you straight to mastery. Habits lead you straight to success. Habits lead you straight to manifestation. I hope this is making sense to you. If it's making sense to you, write amen in the comment section. And this is how it works. And listen, uh, also, uh, this is the last day of this masterclass. But if you follow me, or you want to subscribe on this YouTube channel, I post a video every Sunday and every Wednesday at 11:15 a.m. So today is Saturday. So tomorrow I'm going to upload a video that's talking about this habits that I'm talking about, this sweet spot that you want to be in. Just to continue that we can have this continual learning. So I just won't leave you hanging. As a matter of fact, let me show you the thumbnail to it. So be on the lookout for this video tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. It's called The Road to Habits. And just see how on the thing right there it says goals, discipline, consistency. I'm going to show you how all of this lead to habits, because habits is the sweet spot you want to be in. And just like knowledge, wisdom, and understanding are related, but they're different. Goals, discipline, consistency, habits, all of those are related, but they have a difference. So listen, if you look out for that video tomorrow, if you're not subscribed, listen, hit the red subscribe button. But even if you subscribe or it's your first time subscribing, go a step further and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I do that video. Oh man, listen, I hope you're getting this word. I said, I hope you're getting this word. All right, and so let's continue. Let's continue. Let me give you an example of how knowledge, wisdom, understanding, this whole mastery thing. Let me give you another example. I just gave you that going to work example. Let me give you another example. Say you're baking a cake, right? And what you're gonna need to bake the cake, you're gonna need a recipe. That's how you gain knowledge, right? And as you're gonna have to get in the kitchen. So you're gonna have to apply some action. We can't subtract action from this equation. You're going to have to apply some action. What good is a recipe if you never get in the kitchen? What good is exercising equipment if you never put it to use? Got it? And so once you get in the kitchen, that's when wisdom is going to come. I don't care how many books you read on wisdom. I don't care how many you can pray about it. Wisdom is not going to come until after you're doing it. And wisdom is going to say, hey, you know what? This recipe is good. But you know, if I add just a little bit more sugar, or if I just take a little bit away of this salt, or if I add nutmeg, are you following what I'm saying? That's wisdom. And you're going to have to, it's going to help you to improve and accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. And as you keep baking that cake, right? As you keep baking that cake, sooner or later, you're not going to need the recipe no more. Why? Because you're being consistent. Why? Because now you have understanding. You have a grasp on how to do it. And you keep on baking that cake and keep on baking that cake. And now you mastered this cake. And somebody say, hey, shoot, I want this cake. How much does it cost? And now you don't wind up starting the whole cake business, all through mastery. I hope this is helping. We're talking about understanding tonight. We're talking about understanding tonight. And listen, I want to share with you, as I land the plane, I want to share with you those were just some examples I kind of just was giving you. I want to give you a real life example tonight. And I want you to pay attention, because you're going to hear my story. And this is my story. And then you're going to hear this and learn how to apply it to your life. So years ago, I started working in a restaurant that was inside of a hotel as a bus person. And then I went from bus person to doing room service. And around about this time, I finally figured, I was always a hard worker, but in my mind, I was just working there temporarily while I was going to college, majoring in computer engineering technology. So I was like, this is just a temporary thing. So I was just doing it until I get my job, till I graduate and get my job, right? But then God told me something. He said, master where you're at until you get to where you're going. Listen to me because this is going to bless somebody. Because somebody's working a job temporarily until they get their dream job. Somebody's working a job temporarily while they're in school. Somebody's working a job temporarily until their vision takes off, right? And so you're not lazy, so you're putting in hard work, but you're not serious about it. Well, God said, master where you're at, prosper where you're at, increase where you're at until you get to where you're going. So I said, okay. So I'm gonna take this customer service thing seriously. And so I applied everything that I just told you in these masterclass sessions. So my goal was to become a customer service expert. And so I began to read books. When I would get off work, I began to read customer service books. And then what I would do, I would read the books. That's gaining information. That's the knowledge, right? And so I would come to work the next day and apply what I learned. Apply what I learned. Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes this worked. But then as I was applying action, in the midst of my action, God would give me wisdom. Well, you know what? It'd be better if I do this. It'd be better if I made more eye contact here. It'd be better if I, are you following what I'm saying? And then I would go home and read. And then every day it would be just rinse and repeat. This is called consistency. Did I mention that this is the year of consistency? Listen, it's not too late. This is the year of consistency. And so I began to rinse and repeat. And after a while, I became good at it. After a while, I got an understanding. I got a grasp of customer service until it became a habit. Remember, I told you a habit is a sweet spot because habit leads you right to mastery. Habit leads you right to the manifestation. Habits leads you right to success. And as I kept doing it every day, I kept being sharp. I kept reading the books. I kept applying the information every day. I eventually became a customer service expert. No wonder I won Employee of the Month for my customer service because of what I was doing. And I remember one time somebody got wind of what I was doing. That's why you can't share your vision with everybody. And I told somebody about what I was doing, and they said, "You wait a minute, you get off work and you reading books at home?" He said, "Man, you taking work home." He said, "You working off the clock." I said, "No, I'm not working off the clock. I'm working on me off the clock." And then I kept on doing what I was doing, rinse and repeat. No wonder I eventually got Employee of the Month. And as I kept getting better, I didn't let my knowledge, I was always teachable. Even though I became good at it, I kept learning and I kept applying. And then I got Employee of the Year. Stay with me. Stay with me. I got Employee of the Year. And then the owners that owned this hotel had 12 other properties. So there's 13 total properties, and each property has what they call an Employee of the Year. I was the Employee of the Year at this property. There were 12 other Employee of the Years. They would take all of those Employee of the Years collectively and choose one to be an overall Employee of the Year. And guess what? I won that too. Why? Because of the same principle that I'm teaching you. I got Employee of the Year. And if it worked for me, guess what? It'll work for you. This is how understanding works. This is how mastery works. And guess what? That's what caused them to promote me to management. And guess what? I got Employee of the Manager too. Listen, this is real. I said, this is real. If you understand what I'm saying, hit the like button, hit the heart button. Listen, I hope this mastery class has been a blessing to you. Listen, I got something important I want to share with you. So stay with me. Stay with me. I got something I want to share with you. That I think it's going to bless you. Okay. Listen, God gave me an assignment. Stay with me. God gave me an assignment. And let me tell you what this assignment is. When I first started writing books, I started writing books. I didn't start writing books to get wealthy. I started writing books to change lives. And so far, that's what's happened. Thousands of people have been impacted. Thousands of lives have been transformed by the books that I've written. I give God all the glory for that. So listen, don't get me wrong now. Don't misunderstand. I am a business. I have a business. I have a publishing company, and my business, just like any other business that exists, will not survive unless you make a profit, right? So if I get wealthy from selling books, I won't be mad. You follow what I'm saying? If I sell 1 million copies of my books, I won't be disappointed. But my point is, I didn't. My focus, my origin, my foundation for writing books was not to make money. That's not like I'm gonna make these books so I can make money. No, the foundation of me writing books was to change lives. Listen, I write books to change lives, and thousands so far have been impacted by my books. Now, listen, I'm a firm believer that if you don't tell people about your books, they won't know about it, right? And so I show you the offers that I have. And listen, it may not be for you, but listen to me. Listen to me. I believe if I don't tell you about my offers, you won't know about it. If I won't show you about the books, you won't know about them. And listen, you may not buy them, and that's fine. That doesn't change our relationship. But at least give me the opportunity to show you what I have to offer, because it may be the very thing that take you to the next level. Now, listen, I've written 5 books. One of them I offer for free. This book called You Can't Quit Now. If you would like a copy of this book, look into the first link in the description of this video and sign up, and I'll send it to you for free. That's my first book. My other books, I have these books right here. These 2 books here. Listen, and I'm going to be transparent with you. Each one of these books retail at $16.95. All of them except for one. So we just say $17 each, right? And I mentioned this on the first day, on day 1. These 2 books here, my first 2 books, remember each book costs $17. I offer what's called the Life Package. That was an offer that I had where you get both books for $25.99, pretty much $26. So you do the math. Each book costs $17, but you can get both of them for $26, right? And what I like to do is kind of like I wanted to reward people for buying more books, right? So it's kind of like the more you buy, the more you save, right? Then I have 2 other books. I mentioned this on day 2. These 2 books are called the Whatever Devil Book Set. Same concept. Each book costs $17, or you can get both for $26. That's a deal. That's an offer. That's a very affordable offer. So check this out. Don't miss this. Stay with me. So remember, I told you this 26, this 26. So even if you got all 4 of these books, 26 plus 26, that's $52. That's 4 books for $52. That's what you call an awesome offer. But guess what? I have all 4 of these books, not for $52, but you can get all 4 of them for $44. That's an offer. That's the best offer I believe that I've had on online, right? So you save over $20 for buying all 4 books. You pretty much getting the book for free, right? And so, but now this offer is called 4 for $44 for 4 days, because on Wednesday, October the 8th, is the last time this offer will be here. And that offer will end on October the 8th. It never returns. Listen, this is not a scare tactic. What I'm trying to do is give you an opportunity to get all 4 books. If you don't have my book, if you've been watching me and you don't have my book, either one of my books, this is the perfect opportunity. This is the perfect time to get all 4 books. And that offer will end October, this Thursday, this Wednesday night at midnight, going into Thursday. That offer will end and never return. Listen, you want to get at least one of these books. You may say, well, Billy, I already had that book. Still get the books and give the one that you have and bless somebody else with it. But even if you don't get any book, like I said, that's fine. But this is the opportunity I want to share with you. I want to give you this opportunity. And I'm gonna tell you something. I've been in business since 2017. Well, before that, 2011 actually. And every offer that I have, I'm gonna tell you something that happens. And I'm not saying sometimes, I'm not saying most time, I'm saying every time. Every time I had an offer and it ended, somebody reached out to me couple 2 days later and say, "Man, I saw your offer, but I waited too late. Listen, don't miss this opportunity." And you may be watching the replay and it's after October the 8th, and you're saying, "Well, I'm just not hearing about it." But listen, I've had the offer up for years, and that's okay because whatever the cost of the book is now is worth every penny of getting these books. Listen, I hope this bless you. Listen, I hope this master class was beneficial to you. I hope this master class was helpful to you. And listen, most definitely share this video with others. Share this video with somebody you think it'll bless. This whole series, I got a whole. This is 3 videos, so share the whole playlist, and it's gonna be a blessing to you. It's gonna be a blessing to you. That's a new thing right here with this QR code. I'm gonna put it up there and see how it worked when I watch the replay. It's new on my thing here. So look, this is the last day. Like I said, follow up tomorrow. If you subscribe to my channel, I'll be uploading the video tomorrow. Like I said, look in the description of this video for any resources you need. Sign up to the newsletter so you can get that newsletter I'm sending about the writing. And listen, I'm about to play this short video. It's less than a minute, so watch this video. But as far as the teaching, we're at the end of the teaching. And listen, I love y'all. Y'all take care. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed. And always remember that the word is your life.